Set in the future, the show tells us the story of the Robinson family, who has to defy the odds to survive in outer space. The family includes Mom Maureen, Dad John, and 3 children Judy, Penny, and Will. It is revealed that Judy is the daughter of Maureen's first husband. The first episode starts with the family playing the card game Go Fish on an unidentified planet. Suddenly, their spaceship Jupiter 2 crashes, causing the family to lose their balance. They go through a tumultuous journey until their ship crash lands on a planet filled with ice. Despite their successful evacuation, their ship sinks into a huge ice hole and floats underwater. During their ride, Maureen is severely injured in the leg. The family then sets up a camp and tries to shelter themselves from the freezing cold. But Maureen soon realizes that they will freeze in the absence of a power source. John then decides that someone must swim to the ship underwater to get a battery. He suggests Will go because he is the smallest of them all. But before Will can jump off, Judy throws herself in the water and dives towards their ship. She succeeds in obtaining a lithium battery, but as she swims back up, the surrounding water starts to freeze. She escapes the ship, but she becomes trapped a short distance below the surface because the water has now frozen. As a result, the ice becomes too thick to remove her. Thankfully, Maureen reminds Judy that her suit's oxygen can last up to 6 hours. So until then, the rest of the family can try and find help. In the meantime, Will glances up and sees a mountain-like structure in the distance. He recognizes the white flames coming out of it as magnesium. Will, a genius child, claims that they can use the magnesium to ignite fire and melt the ice to save his sister. Will and John then go in search of the magnesium. Penny reads to Judy while they are gone so that her sister doesn't feel anxious about being stuck in the ice below. Suddenly, Maureen starts to feel uncomfortable in her injured leg. Judy, who has some experience in medical science, believes that they must conduct surgery. She then assists Penny with a surgical procedure that must be performed to save their mom's leg. Penny follows her sister's instructions and successfully performs the surgery. The scene then shifts to a flashback, where it is revealed that Maureen, a scientist, is a part of a space program. The program is based on the mother spaceship known as Resolute. It manufactures sophisticated spaceships called Jupiter to explore outer space. Maureen's family was selected for one of these exploration tasks and assigned to the spaceship Jupiter 2. However, her son Will didn't pass the screening test due to some physical reasons. Therefore, she had made a mysterious transaction with someone via online to get Will on board. Back in the present, John and Will ascend a glacier where they discover a cave. From this, they can extract magnesium. However, Will unexpectedly falls into a crack as the cave trembles, and the ledge breaks off. As he descends to the glacier's base, he discovers an alien-looking forest. John is now in a great dilemma as to whether to save Judy or Will because time is running short. He takes the difficult decision to go help Judy and tells Will he will be back for him. In the next scene, Will explores the mysterious vegetation. He encounters an extraterrestrial after discovering a lower portion of an alien ship. Terrified, Will starts running away from the alien. It pursues the little boy as he climbs a tree, not realizing that the alien's upper body is trapped in the same tree. Meanwhile, John brings the magnesium back to the camp. He then successfully makes a hole in the ice with it. As the magnesium is doing its job, a violent downpour occurs, impeding their attempts to save Judy. She believes that she is going to die today, so she starts to panic. Back in the forest, Will tries to talk with the alien as it gets closer to him. During their talk, the little boy discovers that the extraterrestrial is also new to this world. However, the forest suddenly catches fire due to the remains of the extracted magnesium. Will then helps the alien reintegrate its whole body by directing its upper body to conjoin with the lower one. Having attained its full form, the alien saves Will from the fire. In the meantime, Judy is slowly losing her oxygen, and everyone is holding her hand. That's when Will and the extraterrestrial show up. The little boy wonders if there is anything the alien can do to help his sister. The alien seems to understand the little boy as it warms the ice with its hands before reaching down to pull Judy out. With joy, the family gathers around Judy to stay warm. Will then asks the alien if there is anything he can do to keep them warm. The alien raises its hands and directs the heat it releases at the Robinsons. In a flashback, it is revealed that the people had to flee the ship after an alien creature attacked the Resolute. The creature looks exactly like the one with Will and his family. However, this one emits blue light, unlike others who emit red, indicating that it is a good one. During the attack, a man who has been shot collapses next to a woman who is hiding from the alien. Pretending to look after him, she actually takes his jacket and identity, assuming the name of Dr. Smith. In her desperation to leave the Resolute, she commandeers a ship and brings 2 mechanics with her. Back in the present, a man named Don, wearing a space helmet, awakens abruptly in a ship called Jupiter 18, which is perched on the ledge of a cliff. Don sighs, straining to take off his spacesuit. He is one of the mechanics who went with the fake Dr. Smith. Don manages to unleash the belt and get off his seat. The fake Dr. Smith also awakens and asks for his help. Working together, the two successfully get out of the hanging ship. Back in the camp, Maureen observes the alien and admits that she was aware they weren't alone in space. After she clarifies that the alien is synthetic, Penny queries whether history books are still produced with aliens in them. Maureen then asks the alien to see if it knows their location, or has a name. Will clarifies that the extraterrestrial is not a native of the planet because he observed its spacecraft. He claims that he believes it crashed when they did, and that it too feels wounded and alone. The alien then advances, melting the water with its heat as it makes its way under Jupiter 2, which is the Robinsons' spaceship. Back in Jupiter 18, Dawn and the fake doctor finally make it outside, where they find another mechanic who had made it to the ship. However, she is too weak to stand on her feet. The fake doctor informs Dawn that she's not that kind of doctor when he requests her assistance. Dawn surmises that the injured mechanic cannot make it out alive, so he loses hope for her. He then launches a flare, signaling a cry for help. Back at Jupiter 2, the alien gradually drains the water from the ship and restarts it with its engine. Back at Jupiter 18, the fake doctor recommends that they fire another flare, but Dawn claims that they just spent one. Using his fancy binoculars, he looks around and sees a parachute in the distance. The pair then takes off, hoping to find help from potential survivors. The Robinsons, in addition to mending the ship with the help of the alien, utilize a powerful 3D printer to create Maureen a leg brace. Penny tells Will that his alien is unsettling, but he assures her that she will become accustomed to it. Judy, on the other hand, thanks the alien for saving her life. After giving her some thought, it returns to its task of drying the ship. Just then, Penny notices an explosion outside. John and Maureen believe that it has to come from other survivors. The couple then decides to go after the noise. In the next scene, as they leave with Will and the alien to search for survivors, John and Maureen leave the girls with a long list of things to complete. John, however, doesn't trust the alien. He explains to Maureen that he cannot bear to lose sight of the alien. She assures him that the alien saved Will and Judy before taking off to find other survivors. In the meantime, Dawn asks the fake doctor about her profession. In response, she tells him that she is a psychologist. He giggles and says he can't believe people pay for that type of profession. That in 5 minutes all you have to do is look at someone to know what their deal is. The couple then finally arrives at the parachute location and discovers the damaged and bloodied spacesuit of a woman named Angela Goddard. While Judy and Penny work at Jupiter 2, Maureen and the exploring team discover the remnants of Jupiter 17, which has been completely destroyed. Suddenly, thunder starts rumbling in the distance. Judy and Penny also notice the incoming thunder and worry about their parents. They try to communicate with them, but to no avail. The girls then have a small discussion over trying to save them, and Judy urges Penny to quit worrying since there's nothing they can do. But Penny can't stand it any longer and hurriedly tries to board a vehicle. Meanwhile, the fake doctor suggests it's time for another flare-up. She pulls out the flare kit, and Dawn fires one as they continue to seek help. Observing that they only have one flare remaining, the fake doctor wonders what would happen if they were the only survivors. Dawn remains silent and sits down to drink some water and cater to Angela. Suddenly, the storm begins to encircle them. Back with the exploring team, the alien, Will, Maureen, and John arrive on the site of another wreckage. It turns out to be the spaceship of the alien. As they proceed inside to explore, Maureen tells Will to stay outside. The little boy then attempts to play catch with the alien, but the ball simply bounces off it when he tosses it, so he explains the idea of playing ball. They begin a lively game of catch, to which Will remarks that it's not strange at all. In the meantime, John and Maureen are in what appears to be a virtual environment inside the spaceship. It's a map of the region in 3 dimensions. They learn they're in a different galaxy. John is perplexed as to how the Resolute could have transported them there, and Maureen agrees that it defies every known law of physics. Just then, the alien gets a flashback about the havoc he caused on the Resolute. It turns out he is the same alien who attacked the people in the mother spaceship. Suddenly, Will lets out a gasp. It seems he saw the same thing. He cries and shakes his head, fleeing from the alien in a state of terror. He begs to know if what he just saw was true and asks the alien why it attacked them in Resolute. The alien tries to communicate with the little boy. Will asks whether it is, trying to explain that it isn't the same person anymore. The alien raises its left hand as if it is confirming Will's statement. In the meantime, the Jupiter 18 crew seeks shelter in a cave during an approaching storm. After waiting for a couple of hours for the storm to settle down, the fake doctor decides to find help, leaving Dawn with one flare. Meanwhile, Penny decides to take the courageous decision to drive a snow chariot and rescue her family from the storm. She continues driving forward in a ferocious storm, trying to communicate with her parents without success. The storm, consisting of rocks, hits Maureen and the exploring team, prompting them to take cover under a rock. They finally receive Penny's signal, and this is when the alien uses its searchlight to direct Penny towards them. Moments after, Penny arrives in the chariot and rescues her family along with the alien. They drive to safety as the storm intensifies. Maureen appreciates Penny's completion of tasks and expresses relief. Just then, the group sees a flare in the distance. John, who is now driving the chariot, heads back into the storm, hoping to rescue survivors. Upon their arrival, they discover the fake doctor, who surprisingly insists that she's alone. When asked about anyone else, she urges them to leave. Once inside the vehicle, the fake doctor asks about the Robinsons' names, introducing herself as Dr. Smith. The group eventually make it inside Jupiter 2 and breathe a sigh of relief. During this time, the fake doctor encounters the alien, and despite Will's reassurance, she appears uneasy as she looks at its intriguing structure. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave 1,000 likes or 100 comments if you'd like us to continue part 2. Thank you.